Hi everyone. Today we will talk about next step. It's part 2 of the previous video where we've created the constitution and specified what we want to implement for that real life open source framework. It's a continue. This is a part 2 where we will go to the next step of SpecKit, which is planning. So I've finished previous changes. I've added those files to the gitignore, which are the instruction of specify and SpecKit, what order and what scripts the AI have to do while working. We don't need to keep in mind that, but locally it's there. I don't think it's a nice way to commit it to Git. Well, because it will not be changed. It will be there locally. It will work locally. It will not work there in the cloud. So I would prefer to stay that on gitignore. And this is a specification which was created on our last step. I read it. It's good. And answered those questions which were left. So you really have to walk through that specifications and each document which were created by the system. Okay, so our next step to do, and it's saying it, plan. Okay, so be it. Let's see what will happen then. It's using the script called setup.plan.sh. By the way, I've changed my mind about the model which you should use. GPT-5 is excellent, but it's a bit slow. It works great with a codex, which is the native CLI for OpenAI. I've tried on my other project this GPT-5 codex model at GitHub Copilot, and it appeared that it works really slow. So I'm continuing working with Cloud Sonnet 4.4.5. Continue working on that. It's perfectly good. It's perfectly fast. I don't know why. Just use Sonnet 4.5. It's not that expensive as Opus 4.5 of Anthropic, so it's fine. By the way, the pricing for the GPT-5 codex at Sonnet 4.5 on Copilot, at least on GitHub Copilot, is the same. So you will not have that value from having less price of GPT-5, at least while using the Copilot. If you want to understand the differences in pricing and tokens and where should I better use what model, please highlight that in comments. I will make another video. There are a lot of details. How much tokens are? What is the price of the tokens? Should I use Cloud Code subscription, or maybe should I use API? For example, I've made an interesting result of my personal usage, that using not the subscription by paid API requests on Sonnet 4.5 on Anthropic is actually cheaper. So much changes are there are so much changes in pricing, in models, in tokens, and that's it's totally not really clear what you should use and for what needs you should use. Maybe even for you the cursor subscription of $20 would be more than enough, but to if you're interested in that, please ping me in the comments. I think I will create another video with all of the details. And while that, I think you've watched what's going on in there. Of course, we should also check in those changes. So specification was there. I will commit it. Okay, and plan. This is a doc which was created just right now, just while I was talking. Plan is not tasks. Tasks will be creating of the task will be our next step. Okay, this work. Sequential test execution only. Violation justifies. Status justice feature overturns principle. The principle was documented. The limitation. The third factor removes those constraints. Yeah. So it noticed that currently in the constitution it was that the project works. Not that tests, UI tests are working not in parallel but not simultaneously, not in parallel but sequentially, one by one, and it's saying that this constitution principle is violated, but it's actually our feature what we want to implement that, so this is okay. It created so a lot of markdown files. Okay, this is the project structure, a current structure. Yeah, so it's showing the current structure and the new files which will be created. Great. So you don't even you amazing. You right here right now you understand you're started to understand the magic. This magic. You're like Harry Potter, like abracadabra or whatever. That's actually what we are saying to Copilot, like abracadabra, and magic happens. Another example would be, not everyone like to using magic near AI. We can use another word, for example, like I'm a captain of the ship and using the AI using the steering wheel. So I'm really changing the direction of that huge ship by steering wheel. In exactly the same, I'm changing the direction of where AI is moving with this kind of a steering. Why not? I think it's a good parallel. Okay, I guess it will write tests in parallel, so using kind of a sub-agents, I think. So it will write multiple tests at the same time, I think. It worked for me. Definitely worked for me. It's also okay, it's okay, so it's also, as I say, it's created the research. Let's take a look. Research doc is one of that. If the task is not too trivial, if it's like regular task, more or less complicated, this one is relatively complicated one, it will need to Any AI model will not know everything, so it will, well, kind of doing web searching, and if it doesn't know clearly how to resolve your existing problem, it will doing this kind of a deeper search for for it, and here it will reserve the result for it. So some best practices for resolving the tickets will be here. I mean, it's totally expectable that, uh, for example, if the model has it's learned data from 2024, the end date, if some new technologies appeared after that, it's totally expectable that mm, if we've specified that it should use these tools, it will make some extra research to understand, okay, how exactly I should do it. This is actually good. It's showing how it's going to implement the login, and this is actually good. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, I think on some step, I think on implementation step, I will show you why exactly this the at the moment the framework, this open source framework isn't working simultaneously. This is because using, well, it's iOS native, but really old and really tricky to use method using semaphores for stopping the process for waiting. It's actually so we need refactor in that. This approach stops from having in parallel. I will describe it later, but basically race condition and priority inversion problem happens here. And the new pattern will be non-blocking async. Great, that's what I need. Great. Good. Is it? Okay. It's even documented what commands it should use for uh, compiling and testing the our app. So in an agent mode, it will not only to like add the code and you need to compile it on your own and run tests on your own and then um, send in the errors and warnings so that it could fix it. Sometimes, yes, you will have to make it, but mostly it will run the compile. Quick start documents. Have I finished the research? Oh wow, no. I think I will read it on my own. I think I will read on my own after the video and highlight some interesting points which appeared while this step. This is what you've created. This is what updated. This so it's really viable. I think it's really good, and what it's saying right now for us, okay, planning step is finished. Next step, generate implementation tasks, and that command will be there. That will be the part 3 of this playlist. Currently, what we've seen, that the planning step worked, and as a result of the planning step, we are seeing several documents appeared, as we see contracts. Contracts is the result of the research also, where it's like shown like a best practices for implementation strategy of the specific steps of the specific task which will be made later. Data model, wow. Wow. Isn't that great? I mean, wow. I mean, a little, I'm almost crying because when I was firstly opened the project, this specific project without and started to work it without AI, it was very tricky to understand what's going on in the project, and this research step really explaining each step. It's amazing. It could have saved me hours, maybe 10 hours. So I guess this is another use case when we should use GitHub Spec Kit, because it's a perfect things to do for the AI, and perfect order, perfect this perfect instruction. So we could use this instruction also to, hey, explain everything. By the way, we could specify, explain everything which is going on here on the project. I wanna have full understanding, and this would be a task, not a feature, but rather a documenting and creating some kind of a presentation of everything that is going on in the project. And then from this step, onboarding of a new developer will happen not 10 hours, but rather less than an hour. Great use case, I think. I'm very satisfied with that. But after the video, I will recheck each file, and again, will highlight every interesting point. So see you in next video while creating tasks.